Hello Titans, my name is Jackie Hernandez and today is Friday, April 17, 2020. It's week 5 of social distancing. On today's show, we'll meet some of our furry friends that are helping us through digital learning. Dr. Hart gives us a coronavirus update. We will also take a look at how the storms last week impacted our community. So sit back and relax, Titans. The current social distancing edition starts now. Welcome back. Let's jump right in. The Archetype, the LOA High School Literary Magazine, is now accepting submissions in creative writing, poetry, art, and photography. Please email those submissions to Miss St. John as soon as you can. Thank you. Make sure you are checking your email for the weekly Google form to submit videos for the current. It is sent on the first week, and all videos for that week have to be in by Thursday. We'd love to see you on the current. We've heard many of your furry friends are getting in on your digital learning. Let's meet a few of them.
Today I'm with Arnie and he is 2, but at the end of the month he's gonna turn 3. Sit. Good boy.
Maggie, what is that sound?
This is Willis and he's a Great Dane and he's 3 years old. My name is Avery Sanders and I have 2 dogs and I'm going to be introducing them. This is Hondo and he is turning 13 this month. He's sad because he's such a good boy. And Hershey, he is 2. Hershey, come. Sit. Shake. Good boy.
Hi, I'm Megan Bowen.
I'm Lizzie. I'm Hannah. And this is Buddy.
Buddy is a 4-month-old Labrador Retriever, and he is a Southeastern Guide Dog puppy. We got him about 2.5 weeks ago, and we're going to be raising him until he's about 18 months old, where then he'll go back to the Southeastern Guide School and have official training to be a working guide dog, so working with someone who is blind.
I am Ann Kimmel, Elizabeth Vincent, and this is our dog, Cotton. I'm Graydon, and
Now here are some updates from admin.
Good afternoon. Obviously, you're sitting in my office. Oh, for those of you who have been away from me too long, this is Dr. Tucker. And obviously, you're sitting in my office. You can see that just having you off campus does not decrease my workload. But I'm glad that things seem to be going well as I talk to the teachers and listen to some lessons. I was in first grade pajama party last Friday, and so that was exciting. So anyway, it's not the best case scenario. We all know that, but it's one we have to live with. It's one we'll look back on and we'll hopefully say it made us better and made us more innovative and made us think about us and our community and how we fit in. I think the group that I wanted to speak to most today is probably the seniors. I think when we go to school and start school, we always look at graduating from elementary school or kindergarten, and we look at graduating from middle school, and we look at graduating from high school, and it's a big step. For all of you, I expect so much more than a graduation from high school. I expect you to do post-secondary work in some way, shape, or form, and go ahead and do great things with your life and be a good citizen and a good community member. So I'm not sure when you look back on it that it will be as important to you as it is today, but it is an important time, and it is an accomplishment, and hopefully we've put you through enough effort and work to make this a meaningful experience. And when I see the places you're going and the college you're attending, I am really excited. This may be the most diverse class in terms of people going out of state, in state. All kinds of colleges and universities. It's just been remarkable, and it's great because not only that, but this is 7 students that were our first students. But even with those 7 students that were first, there's many of you that came to us in first grade or second grade or sometime at the church. So many of you we have a long history with, and we're going to miss you, and we're going to miss you not being here. I'm disappointed, as you're disappointed, that we're not going to be able to maybe have the exact same graduation that some others might have, but we're not going to give up on having something good and meaningful. I have a couple of speakers lined up that I think you'll enjoy, that are state and nationally known person that's going to be our speaker for graduation. I won't drop that one yet. And of course, Lee Ross, who was the minister at the church when we went in there, he's gonna have a few words for us too. I'm not going to give up having some sort of ceremony at some point in time, but I do think in my heart that it's not the time to sit here and speculate it's going to be this date, or speculate it's going to be that date, or speculate it's going to be the other. Let's wait and see when we get back to school, and when we get back to doing things, and when we have more of a normal, whatever normal ends up being after COVID-19. And when we do that, we'll be able to set something and everybody can work to a date, and we'll get together, whether that's this summer, whether that's in the fall at something special. At the bash may be the senior bash, whether it's at a homecoming or whatever that may be. I still know and in my heart feel we will be able to do something that you will consider special and done for you as a class and for you as a great group of students. I'm excited to have the opportunity to talk to you today. I'm disappointed that you're not here, but I'm also one of those people that looks at the positive side. Life is going to change. This is going to change your lives. This is going to change everybody's lives in the future. And I know you're the kind of people who are going to adapt and make the best of it. So let's do that, and we'll all end up this year and future years with a smile on our face. You'll look back and tell stories. I guarantee you the stories when you're 67, like I'll be in about 8 or 9 days, will be much bigger than the stories that you're going to tell around here in the next week or so. So keep your chins up, work hard, get ready for those AP exams, get some college credit under your belt before you even go, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Mrs. Bowen's art class have been doing some awesome work that we've just had to share. Check it out. it to Alberto Tirado for more news.
Thanks, Jackie. Hi, Titans. I'm Alberto Tirado, and I got some news for you. In this week's arena, we'll take a look at the varsity baseball season with the baseball Titans just getting ready to region play. Their season ended, their overall record was a 4-7, but they were 2-2 into the region with a 15-0 win over at Lincoln County. With that as the last game of the season, this team led by senior Zach Tollison was looking towards making it to state playoffs. Again, however, the school closures denied those hopes, well, at least for this year. With a group of strong freshmen, many that have started, this group is sure to have a bright future. Let's look back at some of those highlights from this season. Earlier this year, the LOA Theater Troupe won the Class A one-act state championship with the musical Quilters. This was the first of our school's theater department. On our last day back at school in March, the cast and crew received their state championship rings before going home to quarantine.
Class A public state champions. Ladies and gentlemen.
Need another idea for a movie to watch this week? Here's Ella Blythe with this week's movie review.
Jumanji: The Next Level is an action and comedy movie that I would recommend for teenagers and adults. But does it serve as a good follow-up to the first movie? Jumanji: The Next Level is the sequel to Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. It is directed by Jake Kasdan, who also directed Work Hard and Zero Effect. Jumanji: The Next Level was released in 2019. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stars and is joined by Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Karen Gillan, Awkwafina, and Nick Jonas. In this movie, a group of teenagers return to a video game that they had all previously been in order to save one of their own. However, when they return to Jumanji, they discover that the game has changed. They venture from the dry desert to the snowy mountains to try and escape the world's most life-threatening game. I think that Jumanji: The Next Level followed Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle very well.
They did this by explaining what happened in between the two movies. Another way that they made the second movie follow the first so well was by making sure that both movies are based off of the same topic, but aren't the exact same. Like how they were both based off the teenagers going into the video game. This made it easy to follow the storyline. Jumanji: The Next Level nicely incorporates both action and comedy into one movie. In my opinion, this movie was a really good follow-up of the first.
Thanks, Ella. This past Sunday, many people around the world celebrated the Easter holiday a little differently. Here's a look to how some of you celebrated Easter.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm in 8th grade, and the past weekend many families celebrated Easter Sunday, and obviously many people were not able to celebrate it how they normally would due to COVID-19. For example, me and my family would normally go to church and then go home and eat a big meal that my mom would cook or my grandma would. And sadly, we weren't able to see family members that we normally would, but we did watch church through my mom's computer, and then we still had a delicious meal that my mom cooked.
This year I went to work because I figured why not, since there was nothing else for me to do. But the creative thing that we did was we did get on FaceTime, and we did communicate that way since we were not able to have a real gathering.
Usually we go to my brother-in-law's brother's house, sounds funny, in Covington, and my family, my brother-in-law's family, and 2 other families all get together every Easter and have a big dinner and Easter egg hunt and fellowship together.
How was it different from this year? And what'd you do?
It was different in the way of we weren't all together, but we tried to save the same traditions. We had a Zoom meeting at We had a Zoom at 10:30 with all the families, so we all got to see each other and talk to each other for a good while. I cooked a big dinner for my kids. We still did Easter egg hunts, so I try to keep it as normal as possible.
What we did this year was my sister and I made a little Easter egg hunt around the house for my mom and dad. They had so much fun, and at the very end of the Easter egg hunt, they found a basket with their 2 favorite chocolates in it. My sister and I also made these books for them to read, telling them how much we love
them. We had to do it differently this year because my grandparents are they can get the virus very, very easily. So we had to stay home with no family and to celebrate Easter with normal Easter dinner, like mashed potatoes, ham, that kind of stuff. The way we, some creative ways we did something was we went around and FaceTimed all of our family and wished them happy Easter, and we just all sat on the phone for a couple hours talking to each one.
Hi, my name is Victoria and I'm in 10th grade. Me and my family usually celebrate Easter by just having a cookout with my other family members in town, and we just gather around and celebrate with each other and just talk and have fun. But since this year we were in quarantine and it was raining, we just watched the movie and just spent time together. We didn't really come up with creative ways besides watching the movie, but we just had fun and spent time together.
In the early hours of Monday morning this week, our community was rocked by a series of storms, one of which brought tornado that damaged many areas in Greene and Putnam counties. Alex Moore put together this story to tell us more.
There was a lot of trees falling down. There was trees on houses. There was a lot of boats, boat racks and everything were just completely thrown off. They were just destroyed. Boats were destroyed. There was jet skis everywhere. Mainly trees though. Lots of construction sites where one construction site got actually a tree fell through the whole thing. Just a lot of destruction.
According to the National Weather Service, Monday morning's storm has been confirmed as a high-end F1 tornado with winds of 105 miles per hour. Keith Stillman, a meteorologist for NWS who's been surveying tornadoes since 2007, said it was something he had never seen before. Describing it as a pretty long track of storm, Stillman said it entered into Putnam County around 3 a.m. Monday morning, April 13th, with the tornado first touching down at the intersection of Shady Dale Road and Monticello Road. From Shady Dale, the tornado stormed through the Oconee National Forest, where it knocked down a significantly high number of trees. It then intensified at the eastern side of the Oconee National Forest at Reeds Road. From there, it picked up intensity and turned into a high-end F1 tornado with winds of around 105 miles per hour. It was pretty close to an F2 tornado, Stellman said. The tornado came out just north of Eatonton on Highway 129, still knocking down trees and leaving minor roof damage to homes there.
About 3:20 in the morning, my mom came and got me and we went downstairs, and then about 4 we went back to bed, and when we got up the next morning there was a tree down in our backyard and a branch hit my new car and it got a dent in it.
Was pretty scary. A little too close.
It was.
For comfort, it was kind of eerie sounding. It would get really windy and then it'd get really, really quiet. Across the street in one of the golf courses that my husband works on, they lost a lot of trees and signs were down and people's boats and sea-doos and stuff were like flipped upside down. So that was kind of scary.
Before we go, Professor Brown has been sharing this week about making people smile. We ask you to share it with us. Here's Mindset in the House.
This week, we want to know, how can you make someone smile that you haven't seen in a while?
One way I connect with someone I haven't seen in a while is FaceTime. I use it because it lets me connect with them virtually and I can talk and see them at the same time.
One way I can connect with someone that I haven't seen in a while and make them smile is FaceTiming them and tell them I miss them. Haven't seen them in a bit and I hope they're doing alright. And I'm ready to see them soon. So yeah.
Ways you can connect to someone if you haven't seen them in a while is Facebook, or I want to say, right, like you can do something in honor of them, like creating a video or something.
They're writing letters to them, my friends, and in particular, my grandma, who's actually 100 years old. Isn't that right, Palmer? Yeah.
I haven't seen my friends at school in a while, and a way I can make them smile is by calling them on a video call and talking to them and just doing fun activities together and just to get along and have fun in quarantine and just be happy with each other.
You can send them a text or FaceTime them.
The things I do to make someone smile that I haven't seen in a long time is I FaceTime my friends all the time and we make TikToks and like rate each other's TikTok moves and Netflix party sometimes. And I think I'm funny. Like I really have clown written on my head because like I'm just me and I'm funny. And I have a lot of friends, so I have to entertain a lot of people. So
I think if I were to try to stay in my area of sane, I would FaceTime someone that I haven't talked to in a while, or even someone that I might be in contact with. Just make sure I would want to stay in contact with them. So, because like I said, I want to stay sane. And maybe just make them happy. Just tell them a joke. Doesn't matter if it's cheesy or not. Just tell them a joke. Just make them laugh.
You could connect with someone by FaceTiming them and asking them how are they doing.
To connect with somebody that you haven't seen in a while, you need to call them or FaceTime them, especially during this time. As everyone is looking for something to do, your grandparents miss you, your parents miss you, your friends and family, they all miss you. They all want to hear from you. Call them and make them smile. Tell them a joke. Tell them something fun that happened to you this week. Or just anything.
You could connect with someone who you haven't really been in touch with and make them smile by just calling and checking on them, because I think that really means a lot to people.
Thank you to everyone who submitted this week. If yours didn't get in, there's always next week. Look for the forms that's sent to your email.
Well, that's it for this week. Titans will be back next week with a field trip to Samuel's Farm, varsity soccer highlights, and much more. And as always, we are one Titan.